questions there with the code MTGN. Don't forget to direct the questions to the speaker you want to ask the question to. First up, let's invite Ustaz Zahid, CEO of Badan Agama dan Pelajaran Radin Mas, BAPA, and solemnizer at the Registry of Muslim Marriages, ROM, up on stage to give his speech. Ustaz Zahid, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you first and foremost for the organizer for inviting me over. I've been getting a lot of invitation to talk about marriage since I'm a solemnizer, and then the advisor for dari Kisah Tokadi, which was the best program, alhamdulillah. And now it's at second season, and now we are getting request for a third season, alhamdulillah. And actively involved in marrying people, getting people solemnized. I just solemnized someone at Masjid Istighfar at 3 p.m. So tired, I don't enjoy this anymore. But again, because our daily life involved in making solution for people, so I thought that this is one of the weekends that I should do something to make me happy. Because I think that, you know, being a solemnizer, this is the only moment that I can see people smile. Because during our weekdays, I do involve in many things, counseling, meeting people, helping people, doing solutions and everything. So I thought that maybe Saturdays I can make myself happy. But no, because I like to make people cry during the solemnization. Just now, I did make the whole auditorium cry. Because I believe that it's not just about being happy, it's also about giving and also taking responsibilities. Betul tak? So giving and also taking responsibility is very, very important. Usually the groom will smile lah. The one who will be crying is actually the dad. Because I think that giving out responsibility is much more difficult than actually receiving one. This is my experience. I don't know why, because the groom is always keep on smiling, but the one who is crying is actually the dad lah. Macam tadi bapak dia tak habis nangis kan. Okay, whatever it is, the topic is very, very difficult for me. I'm not a sociology. I'm not going to tell you what is the utopian and dystopian experience. But let us start with Surah Ar-Rum ayat 21. Surah Ar-Rum verse 21. If you have your phone with you, you can open, but I'm going to read to you insyaAllah. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said in Al-Quran Al-Karim, wa min ayatihi, and amongst Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala punya creations and signs that He is the great one, and khalaqa lakum min anfusikum azwaja, that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala creates among you its mate. The thing is that I've been lecturing about jodoh, kahwin and everything, but I've never ever seen or I've never meet a particular word to actually describe the word jodoh. Okay? Tak pernah jumpa the one kalimat, the one word that actually can describe the word jodoh. I don't know why. I think that maybe it's a concept of Malay people lah. We talk about jodoh kan, because some of you may say that maybe it means soulmate. I don't think it's soulmate kan. Because soulmate mungkin pasangan hidup ke pasangan nyawa, tak tahu. Soulmate pasangan, jadi pasangan nyawa. But whatever it is, I thought that it is good that in Malay we are a little bit of sensitive, that we describe this whole journey of finding someone that share a little bit, sometimes a temporary, sometimes a more longer time in our life. We call it the jodoh. So when you ask me a concept of jodoh, when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said, "Min ayati an khalaqa lakum min anfusikum azwaja," I don't think that azwajan di situ dinamakan sebagai jodoh. Okay, I don't name it as jodoh. Because for me, jodoh is something maybe, everyone can have their own jodoh, but not every jodoh is meant for you to become permanent. Sometimes jodoh can become also temporary. Of course, in our lives, some people come, some people go, right? That's why in my Twitter, a few weeks ago, I did mention in my Twitter, I said jodoh macam luggage punya. You know, when you waiting for your luggage, right? Sometimes you thought that it's yours, right? You take it, and then you letak tepi, and then someone came in, sorry, this saya punya. You have to put it back. Sometimes life is like that, right? You kenal seseorang and then you kena kasih balik. Sometimes you get married and you get divorced. So how come when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has created among you mates, and then these mates come and go? Now I tell you, it's because Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said, "Min ayatihi," and among great signs of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that He created among you is mate. Mate is not necessarily to be someone that stays with you throughout your whole life. Mate is someone that have a space in your heart, whether it be temporary or it be permanent. Whether it comes slow, whether it come late, whether it come now, whether it come later, whether it come throughout your whole life, or it comes throughout some part of your life. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala namakan itu sebagai mate. Tapi dekat sini ada satu benda, litaskunu ilaiha, that you find purpose in your mate. That is to give you a little bit of calm and serenity. That's what happened in our life. People come and go in our life, but among that small session, sometimes it brings us calmness. The best time in our life is when we have someone to talk to, when we have someone to confide to, when we have a shoulder to cry on. That's the best time. I don't know, because I don't have any girlfriend before marriage, so I don't know lah. But if you have that one, you know, these are the best moment in your life. I see it in my friends, betul tak? Senyum-senyum je, kenapa senyum, betul tak? Ada mata ya? Kenapa ada? But it's the best time in life. But then afterward, 3 to 4 months later on, you see him crying. I say, why you crying? So aku break up. Okay. So jodoh ni boleh tak break up? Of course lah, because he come and go. But then again, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala put a purpose. Litaskunu ilaiha. That means you can search and find serenity to those people that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to put upon you, whether it's temporary or whether it's going to be permanent. First and foremost, the thing is that when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala put a person beside you as your soulmate or as your mate, it is one purpose only, to bring you happiness and calm. That is it. So in any case that this kind of person don't bring you that thing, then it is not your mate lah. It's not your mate. Hence, you see around this world, you see abuses, you see what happened in the world, right? So these people are not your mates actually. Understand? So you can live, tapi kita kahwin but we married to someone that is very abusive. Then I tell you, this is not your mate. Okay? So what to do? Ini dia punya issue dia. What to do? My solution is very simple. When Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala decree upon you something, and you find that whatever that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala give upon you does not suit you, and then you go over and try to search for something that is better decreed upon you. So sesuatu yang telah Allah berikan kepada kita, some things that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala give upon you, there are things that when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala decree, you cannot change. But there are also things that when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala decreed upon you, you can try your very best to change. Parents, you cannot change, right? True, right? If we, I don't know lah, Jawa kan macam saya kan, I would like my parents to become like Victoria ke David Beckham tu. So it won't be this Jawa at all, right? Become something different. But you cannot do that. I cannot do that. It's something that out of my hand. When Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said it is your parent, then you have to take it and you have to ni. But if you read upon many ulama punya apa nama ada commentaries, jodoh is something different than like parenthood. Because jodoh, you have this clause upon you which you call it as nikah and kahwin, right? A bind of proposal and also acceptance. When you have a bind of proposal and also acceptance, means that at any time you can actually break the bond. At any time you can break the bond and you can find something that is much more better. I'm also like what Azwani said that bukan kita. You said that you bukan nak galakkan orang kahwin muda kan. Saya pula bukan nak galakkan orang cerai, betul tak? But what I say is that in any time in your life that you find the person that has been, the person that stays beside you for a moment ke, when you think that this person is not fit enough to become someone that brings a purpose inside your life, then you should first search for something else. Okay, move for something else. So persoalan dekat sini adalah utopian ke dystopian. Everyone want to become utopian lah, of course. Everyone want to become ideal marriage. Everyone, you tell me, everyone, you want this and you want that. Before marriage, you ask me, because I've given so many pre-marriage lectures. Everyone wants to become good marriage. Someone I asked why you want to get married. He said that because it's been so long, Ustaz, I've been entering majlis walimah without a teman. Itu je, simple lah. Sakit hati tak masuk majlis seorang? Sikit lah. Yalah, mula-mula memang lama-lama kan macam It's been so long that I've entered a majlis and I've been alone, Ustaz. It is the time for me to go down and then grab my partner's hand and then show off to all the makcik-makcik. It's that simple, you see, it's that simple. I'm not going even to argue the intention that she had at that moment. I'm not going to even argue. If that thing that she intended seems that can fulfill her sense of calmness inside her, then be it. I'm not going to even discuss about that. Okay, if that thing that you want is your intention, that be it. But again, I want to tell you that not many people who came up to you and become true and honest about what is actually marriage. No one wants to tell you about the intermittent fight that you're going to have inside your marriage. No one. You go over, everyone will tell you that, okay, this semua macam gini, happiness, you keluar sama-sama. You know, I've been active socially, I've been active, not to counsel because I'm not a certified counselor, but I've been meeting young couples that I solemnize myself inside my social media or outside. You know what happened in statistics of our country? The largest number that make up the divorce is actually those who get married 5 years and below. That is the largest number, 5 years and below. So what is your take about this number? The thing is that it defines that those 5 years and below, you know what are our biggest problem? Expectation. Because the longer that you get married, you know, the lower your expectation goes to your partners, isn't it? But the first few years of marriage, what do you need from them? Is actually the expectation part. So these 5 years, those who are 5 years and younger, make up the largest number who get divorced. It is said that every 5% that I solemnize, one will get divorced before 5 years. Okay, so tu dia ada 5 kan. Satu tu akan cerai lagi 5 tahun. Pessimis Siapa yang akan cerai ni? Out of 5, one, the statistics say that it's not me, but one is prone to get divorced in 5 years. One of them. So 5 yang tadi I solemnize, actually hari ni 6. So satu tu ada 3 tu selamat, ada 5 tu selamat lah, salah seorang lah tu. But it is a statistics, not that I say so. I pray that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, may Allah make it longer, may Allah make it everlasting. But it is said so that 5 years. What does it show? It shows that those who are in the 5 years of marriage, the first thing that you have is actually expectation problems. You know, expectation. What are those problems? The expectation that you have is actually already sketches in your mind the thing that you wanted in your marriage. But again, the thing that you want. But when Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala said in Surah Ar-Rum tu, wa min ayatihi an khalaqa lakum min anfusikum azwaja, and among Allah great signs that He created you among yourself azwaja, your mates, litaskunu ilaiha, that you may find happiness, serenity, calmness in them. Ja'ala bainakum mawaddah. This thing you need to remember. And then Allah created amongst you, between you, mawaddah, wa ja'ala bainakum mawaddatan wa rahmah. And Allah created between you these two things, that is mawaddah, love, and also rahmah and mercy. You know what happened is that inside of our life, whenever we sketch something, things that we need, that we want, that we intended to have in our marriage, our expectation tend to be that we try to strive and achieve the thing that only what we want. Only what we want. Not what our partner wants. So the thing is that inside of marriage, those who marry 5 years, those who in the first 5 years of marriage, what they did is actually they try very, very hard to achieve the thing that they want. But they forgot something, that this is actually a mutual consensus between two persons, and you need to work hard to actually achieve both mission and vision, not just yours. So the thing is that first 5 years, the mistake is that we try to make it work. Of course, we try to make it work because we want our only mission and vision. You know what? That's the problem. Yes. You know, 5 years I have 10 things. I put it inside my note. I have 10 things that I spoke. Not 10 things, maybe like 20 to 13 things that I spoke with the younger ones who wants my advice. So one of the first few that I still remember when counselling berbual lah, is that time. Kelakar tau ni. Cerita macam ni. Why do we get, why after marriage the quantity of the time decrease rather than it increase? Okay, kenapa lepas kahwin time kita sikit? Kenapa tak bertambah macam itulah? Okay, kenapa after our marriage, why the time decrease? Why does not increase? Because you have a certain utopian description of marriage that you want. Betul tak? I don't know. Okay, I'm talking on behalf of men lah kan, because kita lelaki kan. Tak ada perempuan speaker hari ni, alhamdulillah. Jadi no one has to debate about that. I'm talking about men punya issue So I cannot talk on behalf of ladies. Daripada lah ya. Okay, Roni ke cakap ke? Kan? Because you will talk about this. Kira you will talk about time issue. Kenapa lepas kahwin time sikit? Why? Kenapa time sikit? Ustaz, betul tak? Why after marriage the time become a little, I don't have many times with my husband. He doesn't sit with me, and because I think the issue is that when you describe your life after marriage is you describe 24/7 with you. Macam itu. You want everything to be together. I want to go to the toilet together with you. I want to go to the mall with you. I want to go I want to see you at every second and every millisecond of my life. That is it. Betul tak? But you see, for me, what I see is that, what do you mean by adding of time? What do you mean of adding of time? You say that before marriage we can see each other, but after marriage I thought that we're going to have more time, but actually we don't have more time. Actually you have more time after marriage, but you don't take that time that you think is not quality for you enough. You sleep together, you eat together, you bump into each other almost every time, betul tak? But the thing is, you want quality time. You want that bumping to be mashi-mashi. You want to be that sitting to see or binge your Netflix with macam urut-urut and everything kan. But that's not going to happen kan, because your husband going to see and say that, yang kacau ni Netflix saya. Betul tak? And then you come in and say that, bang, yang kacau ni I want to binge. Okay? So the 3-4 hours of binging supposed to be hours, but you discounted that hours. You thought that hour does not qualify to be a good thing. But you spend hours together. You spend the hours together, but you don't want to find it because now you have a problem on defining what are quality times. Before marriage, you don't define that. You just want times. But after marriage, you start to define what is a quality time. You know what is the problem is that? Expectation issues. Many expectation issues. You want great things in life, but after marriage, tak ada. My issues also get different. Then Tok Gadi, when we work, Tok Gadi kerja hari apa? Sabtu dan Ahad lah. Sabtu dan Ahad. Okay, so now my children and also my wife in Waterway Point. Because why? Because Saturday that is not home anymore. Betul tak? Saturday is Waalaikumsalam. Betul tak? No time with that anymore. Saturday macam bapak aku nikahkan orang. So Aisyah keluar je. Aisyah, you are a solemnizer daughter. You're gonna meet me not on Saturday, Sunday after 12 PM. That's what gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. So what happened is in life is that I make changes in my life too. I did make changes in my life too. And my wife started to think that, okay, so why are you not here? Why are you not here for our family punya marriage, family punya walima and everything? You know what I did is actually I start to, if you have marriage, if you have macam invitation, you tell me, so I could block my session lah. Of course I datang, lepas tu makan cepat-cepat, lepas tu saya balik kan. Of course lah, but I be there, I try to be there. And then starting from maybe I get married, I'm the last bujang solemnizer. I'm the last one. I don't know, Aram M menyesal dia menyesal ambil bujang solemnizer. I'm the last one. After me no one, semua mesti married. But before I am the last one. So after I get married, so I'm married 5 years. Dekat masuk 6 tahun, alhamdulillah. After the first only for the first 3 years that I start to talk to my wife about what actually do you want. So that, actually I nak you kalau majlis you datang juga macam tu kan. Dia macam gitulah. So I start to, what I did is actually I duduk, accept, and then I start to change. Yeah, I start to change. I said, but do you have to change many things? I don't have to change many things. I just start my solemnization at 10, and then I solemnize 3 people, 10, 11, 12, and then I have a stop at 1 PM. At 1 PM, and then I start to solemnize again at 2, 3, and 4. I finish at around 4 or 5. Around 4, if I have the invitation to go, so I go at 4. And you know what happened is I try my very best, and started from last year. I don't do solemnization on Sundays. Dah tukar tak hidup? Of course tukar hidup. Terjejas tak saya punya income? Of course terjejas. But you know what? I have to find, this is what I like to do, this is my career, this is my responsibility, but I also have some rights, responsibility towards my family, that I need to make changes and also amendment. And I tell you something, in our life of marriage, the amendments that you're going to make are vast and many. Okay, are vast and many. You are going to make amendment and also changes in your life as many times as you could. It will change. It will change. The direction will change, and it will change. The timing will change. The priority will change many times. The responsibility will change many times, and the effort that you need to also do will change many times. The effort that you will need to change. Firstly, maybe you try your 50%. Next year, you need to up your effort 60% or 70%. So whatever it is in our life, you need to know. As couple that are newly married, you need to know that you are not perfect. You cannot sketch a book. I don't know about Utopian and Dystopian. Sebab tu saya baca lah dekat internet. It's actually a book kan. It's actually a book, a concept that is written by a sociology, right? A sociologist. So what happen is, they write macam buku kita baca dulu dekat sekolah. I don't know, as apa nama dia, as a Islamic punya scholar, kita read buku Ibn Khaldun lah kan, Madinatus Salihah. Tapi ni cerita Utopia ni, Thomas apa nama dia, tapi bukan yang kereta api Thomas tu. Anak saya bawa main kat rumah kan. So what happened is that he wrote a book about how an ideal country and society should be. So it's something that is written because he wants to project his idea about how society should be, how it should run. I think every one of us in approaching this marriage issue, we have a utopian description of ourselves too. We want it to be this way, we want it to be that way. Betul tak? Orang perempuan tahu tak nanti pelamin ni tak kalah apa? Utopian already. Kan? Of course, you want it to be that way, you want it to be this way, and after you get your home, you already know what your home look like too. That's why men don't involve in that thing, because they will let them be happy with them. I tell you. Tapi subjek saya apa? No, ask. You know how I did it? I just ask for a space in my house. Dia ni rumah kita, bilik satu kan, kasih saya bilik ni boleh. Lain you nak buat apa, you buat lah suka hati tu. So what she did is, I bayar, dia buat lah. Yeah? Right. They happy. So what he did is actually, every one of us have our own ideal description about what are we going to do. But again, I tell you something, an ideal thing that you want is actually your sketches upon you don't know the challenges before. You don't know what are the challenges going to happen next. So you did your own description without knowing what are the challenges going to do. And the challenges are not something that is put and everyone can be shared. No, there are no templates for challenges. Every one of us have our own set of challenges. Betul tak? Kita semua lain-lain. So you can't come over to your friend and say that, what are your problems, can I learn? Of course you can learn, but do you know that later on in life, your problem will be totally different from your life. That's why don't put benchmark in your partner. Don't say something like this. You know what? You see the friend or my friend, her husband is like this, And you don't go over to your wife and say that, you know what, my wife friends she's like this, That's not going to happen. Because no one can actually put a template inside you, and you cannot even find a real template about your own challenges. Every one of us have our own unique part of challenges, even though something must be shared. But all of us have our own set of challenges. What you need to do is actually, you may sketch a little bit of your description about an ideal thing that you want, but you need to make sure that you open some space for it to be amended, for it to be changed. Every one of us wants something, but if you cannot achieve to that thing, you have to tukar-tukar sikit, betul tak? So then ideally you want a car. Nanti si Sani boleh cerita pasal financial car, betul tak? Kan? Ideally you want a car. You say like, I'm got married, and then the first thing you do is actually you want to own a car. What does it happen if you can't own a car? Ideally, you know what? After got married, I want first year of marriage, I want like 1 children, and then after 2 years, I want 2 children. What happens is after 4 years, you don't have your children. You need to have a little bit of space to let some nature works, to let Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala decree works upon you. And the best thing is that to let you know that you are just mere servant of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. You can sketch, you can describe things, you can plan ahead, but something that you need to know is that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala has a lot of better plan for you in the near future. But whatever it is, start planning well. Planning. The first plan that you need to do is that you need to ask a question within yourself. Why do I get married? That's the biggest question that everyone should know. Okay? And I ask many couples who get married, macam 24 ke bawah daripada 25 when we ask them about why do you get married, almost that all of them, for me, because I have my own ideal answer on my own ideal challenges that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala put upon me. So when they answered promptly, I said, I'm not fail budak ni nak kahwin, betul tak? Kadang-kadang gitu tak. Even though I don't put it as macam betul ke salah punya question, but I may think that it's not right for you to answer that. The first thing that you need to answer is that you need to question yourself, why do I want to get married? It's because you have a pressure, your friends pun nak kahwin, betul tak? Jadi dulu bila kahwin kawan-kawan so stress kan? Because I am not the late one, I'm the middle one, yeah. But I still remember the first one to get married. Kita satu clan malam-malam tu naik motor, minum air, semua diam tak berbual. Macam gini. And then start to question ourselves. Apa kita nak buat dalam hidup kita ni? Kawan kita dah kahwin tau. Dan tu baru macam 22 to 23 lah. So, betul tak? You see your 22-year-old friend go up and then having a responsibility. Aku terima nikahnya fulana binti fulana dengan mas kahwin yang tersebut. Tunai. Kita kat sana cakap, what the hell I'm doing in my life, you know? Start to think that. And the first thing I did was, you know what the first thing I did was? Macam dia kahwin malam tu, the first thing I did was I actually open my bank book. Betul, I was 25 or 24 tadi tu lah. 24 or 25. Balik tengok bank book, $48. Kawan aku dah kahwin, aku dekat ni $48. Hey man. And then you start to keep saying, is it right? Is it the time right? What I'm doing in life? Apa semua. But the thing is, I thought that it's very selfish of me to think that. No, it's not selfish. It's something that is, you know, it's easy for me to think like that. But I should think it. If I would be 25 at that moment, I should think differently. I shouldn't pick that as a pressure point. You know, I shouldn't pick up as a pressure point. I wouldn't be pressured at that time. Even though time tu memang pressure gila. And then one by one kahwin kan, one by one. Now you see the faces of the bridesmaids kan, betul tak? Tengok muka bridesmaids tak? Bila kawan-kawan dah kahwin, semua kat belakang macam, what you are doing now man? One by one, who's next? Lepas tu kalau lempar bunga semua macam, dude, tell me, I don't have an answer for lempar bunga ke apa gitu kan. You want to do it lah. Okay? But if you want your friend to get married after you don't lempar bunga, you lempar credit card, yeah? Okay? So whatever this, if I were to put myself back at that moment, I will stop and I would question myself, about my preparation, and I should tell myself, you know, why I should list out why should I get married. Because I think the only thing that you need to answer is the answer to yourself. You want to bring yourself into a realm of another person, and it is your own responsibility to know that you don't bring other than benefits to that person. The only thing that you want to bring to that person are benefits over benefits and benefits. You don't want to bring yourself to other person and you bring burden to them. You want them to receive you, and from you receive benefits, and from them you receive also benefit. So in order for you to bring benefit to others, the thing is you need to change yourself. You need to make sure that you are very useful to others. And starting from that, you should start yourself to become very useful, learn something that can make you useful, discover something on yourself that can make you useful, yeah? And then insyaAllah, you ask Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala to make you a useful person, insyaAllah. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ini soal jawab Sini.
Thank you, Ustaz Zahid, for the enlightening speech. Now we will have a 10-minute Q&A session with Ustaz Zahid. And I'd like to invite our moderator, D, out on stage. Just, okay. Can you guys hear me? Is it loud enough? Yeah, okay. Okay guys, so if you guys will have any questions for Ustaz Zahid, you can go to www.c.do, and then you can enter the code #MTGJM. And also, if you guys would like to ask questions from the floor, there will be a mic being passed by the MCs later. Just raise your hands. Or at the side of the auditorium, there's also a mic there if you would like to approach them. Yes. And we can proceed with the question and answer.
Banyaknya. I can choose.
You can choose it. From
It's only one question. Oh. Wow. Very adamant. 2 kali answer. Oh, ini ada sini tadi. Come on, carry lah.
Okay, I'll read out for you. One question. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. How do you know that the person is your jodoh? This is a common question.
Any married person boleh? Married. Ini ada ni married. Soalan tu. This is a thrilling question if you are single, right? Not after you get married, you can pussy. Kenapa pula dia? Betul tak? Again, Masya Allah, Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for the question. Nak jawab betul-betul ke Hamid? Kalau dah jodoh tak ke mana kan? Jumpa orang tanya, awak pergi mana? Tak mana-mana. Awak dah jodoh saya. When you find someone that you find, I think when Allah SWT said about the ayat to find serenity and calmness, I think the most thing is that person bring you calmness inside you, that someone bring serenity in you. And I would like to I would like to remind that if you want to search for someone, then you semayang hajat lah. You ask Allah SWT what the thing. Many people do istikhara kan. Istikhara when 2 person came up to you and then both of them show interest and then both of them have good qualities in them that you cannot choose either one. So you ask Allah SWT to guide upon you lah. But if you have only one, tak ada istikhara lah. Nanti keluar muka saya macam mana? You only do istikhara if you cannot find solution. But if you think that he is the one, you meet Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala to make your heart more fonder to them lah, more fonder to them. Because I think the most important thing is that person bring you calmness, ease, can make you think easier. You find good qualities. Okay, dalam hadis Nabi SAW ada cakap pasal tunkahul mar'at bi arba'ah kan. Someone is married within these 4 qualities, right? Cantiknya, beauty, wealth, family, and also religion. Both men and women, if you want to search for these qualities, these are the guidelines for the qualities that you need to search in. And you have to know something, when Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala said about everything in these 4, except for religion, all these are subjective issues. Okay, all these are subjective issues. Some ulama translate wealth as ability to do something to create economical status for the family. Lepas tu hari tu, I have students who graduates and then came up to me and said, Ustaz, I don't find job, really? I don't find job, I cannot find job, and I'm not a graduate, I'm jobless, apa gitulah. So I said to him that I have one pepatah ni I said in my Twitter. I said that untuk my generation right now, kalau tak ada pendapatan tetap, pastikan tetap berpendapatan. Oh tak? If you don't have a stable income, make sure that you have some. No. If you don't have a stable income, make sure that you always have your income stable. See that? So walaupun tak ada pendapatan tetap kan, work something that can make sure your income is stable lah. Do something that can make your income good. So soalan dia senang saja. Macam mana nak tahu orang tu jodoh kita ke tak? First sekali kena tanya orang tu, adakah awak jodoh saya? Kemudian the thing is that I tell you from my first few minutes of my session just now, is that some jodoh are not meant to be temporary, right? Okay, so you can't ask someone that, do you are you the one that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala has said I should be with in this dunya and also akhirat? I don't think that's the right question. I think that, are you someone that can walk with me through this life, furnish me so that I can find my perfection, correct me on my everything that I am not perfect, and walk together so that we can find the best solution for us to walk together to akhirat. Because in any case that you think that both of you cannot help and support each other, then I think if jodoh tak panjang, dekat situ kita berubah. But jodoh tak panjang, you have to know something. There's always negativity in berbincang tentang jodoh tak panjang. So that there's always negativity in that. I don't think that should be negativity. I think that is how Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala put a clause in marriage that you can exit and find someone that can actually make you work things better. So in any part of this case, those couple who are divorced should not fight to each other. Rather, they should work for each other so that each other could find someone that can make them better. In that case, if you find that positivity in life, I think that you can find some the best solution inside your life. Allah Akbar. So that is what I read.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, in the story you shared of asking the bride or groom why they want to get married, what is your opinion the right answer?
I think the right answer should be, for me. Okay, for me lah. I don't think that I can share the right answer to. I don't think that my right answer should be a template for everyone. I think the right answer for me is that, do I know what are the good things that I'm going to bring to my potential spouse? Yeah. Am I sure that I'm going to bring goodness inside my partner? Am I ready enough to bring good things that my being inside that person's life will make her better in her journey in finding whatever things? Saya ni cukup tak membawa manfaat? Can I bring benefits to her? That are the question that I think is, for me, that are the kind of question that I want to ask. No, that I want to answer. So if you think that, why do I want to get married? I think the why I want to get married is that whenever Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala give me opportunity to be wiser, to be great in handling things, management lah, leadership and everything, I want to make sure that I am going to get married because I am going to bring my family to goodness. I'm going to bring many things to goodness. I'm going to be benefit to my partner, to my children, to my family, to both of my families, yang dekat sana and dekat sini. And I want to make sure that my being in my marriage is that the marriage that I'm going to bring in is a marriage that can bring a lot of goodness in the community. I pastikan saya punya perkahwinan ni akan datang kebaikan. Sebab tu when you ask why you want to get married, most of them are very selfish answer. Most of them are, I want this, I want that, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. None of it is because I want to bring something. Because I think that if you serve others, then Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala will make your things easier. That's why you see people serving others, right? You serve others with the ability that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala give upon you, then Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala will make things easier upon you. Allah.
Thank you, Ustaz. And this question with 4 legs. So the question is, what's the solution if partners have different ideas or ways of the walima, sunnah/culture? Does that mean we are not meant to be with each other?
That means you are meant to be each other lah. That's why I say that utopian description is that both of you have ideal lives, right? Both of you have, you should like this, you should like that, you should like this, you should like this. It's not that. That's why I say one of the few problems that I talk with younger couples is that their expectation should be like this. You and I should like the same things. But Ustaz, you know what? Before we get married, almost everything we share together. I tell you, this is courtship. Men, because I'm behalf of men, in time of courtship, we don't have time to discuss and debate with you things that we don't like. You see that? Do you like blue? Of course I like blue. At times in courtship times lah, I will be that kind of person because I want to cut the time. I'm going to make sure that I strike it right. That's why I'm not going to be honest with whatever that thing. I'm not even cheating you. Of course I like blue, but it's not my favorite. Ustaz, do you like pink? Yes, of course I like pink. No, no. Hey, wow, you like pink too. I like pink. I like. It's not that like. What I like. You like macam mi goreng? Yes, I like mi goreng. Ustaz, but before marriage, whatever that we shared, whatever that we like, we shared. Like both of us shared apa nama dia likeness. So. You like this and we like that. But after marriage, suddenly he becomes someone different. Suddenly he dislike whatever that I like. No, that is the time. That's why I say that after marriage is time that you become more honest, right? And it is the time that he lets out because this is a man problem. He lets out things that he wants you to know about me. Slowly. Suddenly, blue is not, I do not like blue. But before marriage, you like blue, what? Yeah, I like blue. But it's not my favorite colour. But you say you like mi goreng, right? Like, it's not my favorite. But you say you like romantic movies. Yeah, I like romantic movies, but it's not that I want to see it often. Why? Because we want to close the deal lah, senang cakap Mr. Tan. When you're closing the deal with your clients kan, the client say, you know what, I don't like Manchester United. Yes bro, I also. Deep inside Red Devil. Why Red Devil? Yeah bro, so they're not good, right? No, it's supposed to be very good, but now it's not good because you want to strike it, right? That's all what we do lah. But I tell you something, it's not about sharing the same likeness, sharing the same. No, it's about finding yourself and also to actually support them in whatever that they like, and at the same time, make sure to tell them also about you yourself without hurting them lah, macam itu. So I find it quite amusing when, because in my circle of friends kan, almost like 95% of them married Ustaz and Ustazah. Okay, so when I married a non-Ustazah, because my wife is a teacher, dia macam, boleh ke? Kan kita selalu melepak di masjid, tahajud dan qiyamul lail. Walhal cikgu-cikgu dia melepak dengan orang lain, macam itulah. Nanti kau punya kehidupan akan berbeza. I find myself I'm truly okay with that. So in any time that my wife needs to lepak with the teachers kan, dia lepak with the teachers, dia macam kita keluar, macam you nak pergi lepak dengan Ustaz. You nak lepak siapa? Dengan teacher. Okay, you pergi lepak dengan teacher, I pergi lepak dengan Ustaz. When we go home together, we talk about the lepakness. I don't know if that's the right word, but we talk about that. We talk about what's your teacher, what's I'm having. I find it very colourful in the sense like that. When I was driving my wife to work, we talk about different things, yeah, and then I find myself not burdened to think about what are her experience, and he herself, see that okay, you punya hidup lain yang berbeza, and I don't think that is a problem. Betul-betul saya pun macam itu juga. Isteri saya tanya, tapi you sebelum kahwin, you cakap you suka colour putih. Cik tu, saya cakap, I memang suka colour putih, tapi colour putih bukan I punya favourite. Okay, tapi penat lah sebab nak kena gaduh kan. But I tell you something, yeah, you go and read. Sani pergi baca dengan pasangan ni, pergi baca kan. Intermittent punya gaduh dalam perkahwinan is healthy. It's healthy. It's a biological issues because kita ada some turmoil dekat dalam kita yang kita nak keluarkan. That's why we see our parents have intermittent. Not always intermittent. Kejap-kejap gaduh kan. Because it's how they actually deal with their biological needs. Dia punya nak keluarkan. So ulama pula, apa nama dia, scholar says that if you have intermittent punya discussion, fights lah, cakap discussion diplomatik sikit, fight if your partners once every 3 days, no, once every 30 days, and then you are very healthy. Kena dalam 30 hari sekali macam bertekak itu healthy. I did send this to my wife lah. Macam, what do you mean? So that's it, deal. Once every 30 days, if we fight, we are very healthy, We are super healthy. What do you mean by that? We are 3 days once, we fight. So that goes my 3 days. After that, she blocked me on WhatsApp for 3 days. Because I believe that, not everyone going up to you and say that, okay, why? Because pendapat scholars tentang ahwal syakhsiyah kan. Ulama-ulama dia ada they are partners in ahwal syakhsiyah, which is matrimony issues. They say that refining talks and discussion and ever macam bergaduh and everything make you refine the art of war, and then makes you fasten up your honesty in your process, so that in times later on you will not fight to bigger things, you will fight with macam materi things just to make sure that your biological needs be fulfilled. Sebab tu you tengok mak bapak kita kan, benda-benda apa-apa dia gaduh, betul tak? And we as younger couples, you know, bapak ni benda merepek pun nak gaduh dengan mak. No, because they have gaduh benda yang tak merepek. They have already gone to the days of gaduh benda yang core, no. Now they already gaduh benda yang supporting. You know, the core issue dia gaduh. Dia tak gaduh lagi pasal financial talks, belief, tak ada. Dia gaduh pasal benda-benda yang kecil-kecil je. You know why? Because they already gone that before. I think that's what makes their relationship longer. Last question. Dah. Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih. Hukum kau buat. Terima kasih. Baik, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now we pass it back to the MC.
Thank you, Ustaz Zahid and Diana. Next up, we have Mr. Sani Hamid, Director of Financial Alliance, Economic and Markets, and Head of Financial Alliance Islamic Wealth Advisory. Mr. Sani Hamid will be talking about marriage survival guide. Mr. Sani.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for inviting me to this session. When I was told that I have to give you tips on the finance side of getting married. I understand some of you are married and some of you are not married, right? So I hope it will apply to both sets of audience here. So what I've done is I've actually thought of, I only have 20 minutes, so I thought about 3 essential financial financial hacks. I need to say that these are, to me, the 3 most important things if you're getting married or if you're married to actually understand and hopefully, inshallah, adopt in your marriage life. Okay. Reasons for divorce. I came across this on the internet. Basically, in the US, and I don't know whether you can see the top part. I didn't know this, but they actually have certified divorce financial analysts. There's actually a professional certification for such a position. They did this survey with this group of analysts, and they found out that actually when these people meet people who are going to have divorce, and they will actually go and advise them on the finances and stuff. And it turns out that 43% of the reason for getting a divorce is basic incompatibility. 28% is infidelity and sexual issues, and 22%, the third largest one, is money issues. And I wouldn't be surprised that if you actually could find subsets, or rather things in the basic incompatibility or even in the infidelities part which are related to money issues. Because a lot of things actually, in fact, there are other surveys which actually put money issues at the top. And one of them is, okay. Another thing I found on the website, which is I think very true, if you look at the top 10 financial facts of why people actually get divorced, money is the number 1 case for stress, money is the number 1 case for divorce, like I said. A lot of these things will sound very familiar, especially of those of you who are married and then you face these kind of things sometimes as a household. The average American earns less than 30,000. They have credit card debt. They misspend. They don't have a budget. They live paycheck to paycheck. You know, before bulan already your money is gone. They spend more than they earn. And they have less than 1% of savings. So I think very common kind of challenges, not only the Americans face, but basically I think everybody everywhere in the world. Okay? So how do we actually overcome some of this? I hope that the next few slides will help you, give you a foundation of what I think is very important. Okay. So, hack number 1, set the model to avoid a earful or silent treatment. Coming from someone who's married, if you don't set the model at the very beginning, as in terms of finance, be prepared for a earful, because the wife will keep on giving you a earful every time you do something financially wrong. She'll make sure that you remember it for the rest of your life. For the men pula, when they are angry or when the wife does something, come back home with a Prada bag or whatever the case is on your credit card, then you will keep silent forever, and then she's like, Abang, anything wrong or not? No, everything's fine. Are you sure? Yeah, nothing. So basically, to avoid these kind of things, you basically need to do this. You really need to set the financial model that both you as a husband and wife will adhere to. The financial model number 1 is, you have to decide at the very beginning, is it going to be a relationship, a financial relationship that is basically you, me. You handle yourself, your finances, I handle myself, my finances, because basically sometimes we have our own lifestyle. I'm a little bit more, right? I like my bikes, I like my car, so if I spend on my car, don't say anything because it's me. If you spend on your stuff, I'm not going to say anything because it's you. So you need to set that at the very beginning, so everybody's clear about it. Rather than halfway through the relationship, you'll be saying, but I believe a 70-inch rim, that kind of thing, So basically you need to set that. And that's when you have your own lifestyle. And the second model is you and me model. This is where you come together, you find that actually both of you share the same goals, the same aspiration financially. You also like 17 rims, yeah, I also like 17 rims, You also like Prada, I also like Prada, that kind of thing. So you share the same goals. And I have friends who have that kind of lifestyle. I have my wife's friend actually have this blog, which is called Singapore Minimalist Blog. They live very minimal. The house is, not to say kosong, but the house is, they don't have really extravagant stuff and things like that. I told my wife, I cannot. Don't go down that road. Don't even think about it. I like my TV a little bit bigger so I can see better. I can, hear the sound and start moving. But if you have a wife and husband who are in tune, then why not? Then you have one lifestyle. Then you understand each other, and then you say, okay, now these we are happy with this kind of lifestyle. Then you go together, and then you understand one another. The third model is the only me model. The only me model basically is, my money is my money, your money is my money. Which is basically sometimes what the guys will get to know when you get married. You may come across this situation. When your wife says, whatever you earn is mine, whatever I earn, I keep myself. And that's where the guys have no life and no style. So no lifestyle. Okay. Is it wrong? No. I have friends who do that and they're very successful because why? They know themselves, I can't handle the money, or I just want to give my wife the money and she just gives me a couple of hundred or 1,000, whatever, and I'll use that. I'm very happy. Whatever makes my wife happy makes me happy. Fine. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is you need to really communicate at the very, very beginning to understand what type of model you're going to adopt. Because once you understand that and both parties understand that, then you have very little friction going forward. If not, you have a lot of friction. Okay? So lack of communication is really a major problem in marriage. Financial conversations are very awkward. We don't tend. When was the last time you spoke to your partner, whether you're married or not married, about finance? Spending and stuff like that. So it's an awkward topic. But you need to really open up and set this early foundation correct. And whichever lifestyle you choose, whether it's your own lifestyle, one lifestyle, no life, no style, okay, basically you need to adhere to and incorporate the Islamic values in it. Yeah, things like what with riba, with debt, investing in Sharia compliant instruments and stuff. So whatever you choose doesn't mean you, me is non-Islamic. No, Islam says you can, except that you just don't go to the extreme. Yeah, so basically all these things are very Islamic in nature. Hack number 2, be in control, not be controlled. Okay. I'm not referring to the guy today. This is referring to finance. Okay, the single most important principle to me, I'm an economist. I also have a CFP, which is a Certified Financial Planner. I'm a professional in terms of advising on finance. to me, the single most important principle in determining whether you succeed financially in life, and I'm very honest with this, okay, is what we call financial stability. And what is financial stability? Financial stability very basically means you actually spend every single month of your life, okay, less than you earn. So basically you earn more than you spend, and then the other way around. Okay, if you do that, I can guarantee you, you would be in probably the top 5 to 10% of the population in the whole wide world, which is doing their finances correctly compared to the other 90%. Because many people here don't do this. But this is the most basic foundation in order to have what we call a stable financial situation at home. Okay? Because when you spend less than you earn, what happens? You have money in your hands every month because you earn 3,000, you spend 2,005. At the end, you have $500 in your hand extra, correct? That gives you control. When you know the set of questions that you ask when you have $500 in your hand is totally different from the set of questions you ask when you don't have $500 in your hand and rather you spend extra $500 above of what you earn. The questions that you ask when you have $500 in your hands are, where do I invest this $500? Can I pay off some of my debts when I have this additional $500? What can I know what I can do so many things. I want to go on a holiday so no one can stop me because I've got $500 in my hand. You see the control that you have? But when you don't have the $500 and worse still, you overspend $500 every month, that means you dah hutang orang 500 or something like that, you don't ask these questions, then the questions will be a totally different set of questions. It will be, do I have enough savings to actually pay for what I just overspent? Where do I get my money to pay all my debts? Hey, I want to go on holiday but cannot because my children want to go on holiday. I'm sorry, anak, I can't bring you because I don't have enough money. You see, it's different. So when I say be in control means you have to have money in your hand, i.e. have what we call a positive balance every month to be in control. Otherwise, you're not. Okay? And I say this with all in a very serious manner. This is it. The very single thing that I think will mean and change everybody's life. I think I'm controlling this or seem to be a lag. Okay. So the biggest challenge is non-adherence. Sani, I understand every month I have to have a positive balance and stuff like that. But then throughout the month, I've got something I want to buy, additional stuff I want to spend on, and this and that. So adhering to this principle is actually the hardest thing. Understanding it is not. Every month I have to earn more than I spend. But adhering to it. Okay? So what you actually need to do, in my view, is to set up a framework. Yeah, a framework as to why is the thing coming out so fast? Oh, it's controlled by someone, is it? Oh, okay. So I don't have control. Do I have control over this? No. Okay, never mind. I'll let you know when to switch and when to go to the next one. Okay. So set up a framework to ensure adherence. Okay. You have to prioritize spending. You need to say that most of us do the biggest mistake is this. Our monthly income comes in, we spend on what we think we want. Then whatever's balance, we used to pay our bills, and then whatever's balance after that, we save. The only problem is by the time it reaches at the bottom of the waterfall, there's nothing left there. Yeah? And maybe even halfway through paying the bills, there's nothing left. Okay? I'll put up who's controlling the thing behind. Okay. Hello there. I'll just put up something like this and change the slide. Okay. So we need to change it into like a monthly income. You need to first, remember I said every month you have to have this positive balance, $500, whatever the case is. That's the one that you save now. Okay, you save that first. Okay. How much you save depends. If you're the type who actually you want to live the life, means to say you don't want to stinge too much, you want to enjoy life and stuff, just save 10%, fine. As long as you save something. Okay. If you think you want to have a moderate life, then you save 20 to 30%. If you think you want to have what we call, like my wife's friend, the minimalists, they save up to 50% of whatever they earn. And you may say, wow, like that, how to live like that? But let me tell you, today, that guy is 40 years old, he's retired. He said, I don't have to work. Whatever I saved throughout my beginning, and he's had this mindset since the beginning. When first day I came out to work, my first salary I already saved 50%. Okay, while all my other friends went to do their usual jolly stuff lah, this and that, this and that. So today he's 40 years old. He said, I can retire every month. The assets that I bought generates enough for me, 3,000-4,000 a month. Okay, and I can live on that, no problem, because I've been living minimally for the past 20 years. So I can continue to live with my wife. She understands me and she agrees with this for the rest of my life with this income. So, and we can't be jealous of that as well, my wife, because why we choose the lifestyle that we want. Because he made the sacrifice from the start. Come out to work, save 50. I asked you, can you come out to work and save 50? Correct. But if you wanted to, the rewards is, by the time you're 40, you can retire. So you see, there's sacrifices to be made. So it's a choice. It's not to say if he is right, I'm wrong, and so on and so forth. It's really a personal choice. So you need to understand what your choices are in order to make the right decision. Okay? Then pay your bills, your installments, your loans, your nafkah, your parents, your infra, and stuff like that. You need to pay those. Then what's left? That's the money that you actually use for jolly and whatever you want, your rims, your bags, and stuff like that. That doesn't come on top. That comes at the end. You really need to settle all these things first. Then that's the money that you actually keep. Okay? Next slide, please. So, hack number 3. Prepay, pay more, pay cash. Okay? Prepay your monthly bills and installment. Those of you, I'm asking you now, when do you pay your bills? When you get your bills, when you get your statement, correct? I'm telling you, don't. I'm telling you, pay your bills way ahead before you get your bills. You know, when you get your salary on the 31st of December, 31st of the month, 30th of the month, make sure you pay your bills on the 1st and 2nd. But the bill hasn't come, why should I pay? Because it's going to come. It will be coming on the 2nd week, on the 3rd week, on the 4th week. And guys, what happens when the bill comes on the 3rd week? Buka surat, tengok, kena bayar ni lah installment 300. Duit mana lah? Duit pergi mana lah? Correct or not? Because the salary comes in on the 31st. And by the time the 3rd week of the month, you've used up everything. And yet you have these bills month in, month out, definitely coming because you have to pay them. So if you hadn't set aside the money, then you're in trouble. Okay? So basically, my advice is actually coming to, let's say, for example, the 31st when you get your salary, what you do is do the gyros, do the standing order, standing instruction. You know you're going to pay utility 200. Don't wait for the bill to come in. Do a standing order into the Sing Power utility on the 1st of the month. Why? Then you don't have to worry about the bill anymore. When the bill comes, actually it's kosong already because you already prepaid the bill. Yeah? So that's the way to go. So for my case, I have 100% coming in on every month. By the 3rd, 4th or 5th of the month, I tell you, I'm like the poorest person in Singapore. I only have left 30%. And I have to survive for the rest of the month with that 30% of my salary that's left after paying everything. And I'll show you an example. Next slide. Okay, stop there. I don't know if you can see the date there on the box. So that's my latest salary that came into my account. That's on the 30th or 31st. Okay, so salary comes in on 30th, 31st. Next two, yeah, correct. And those are the outflows from my own account on the 1st and on the 2nd. Of course, today's the 3rd. I haven't they haven't even deducted for the 3rd, but this was last 2 days. And you can see all those circles there. They are SI, standing instruction, transfers, and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm saying whatever money that comes in from my salary goes out almost immediately. So I can't even touch the money because it's not there anymore. So this actually helps in terms of setting up a framework whereby you don't end up thinking that you have a lot of money because it's just in your bank account. Because there are bills to be paid for the rest of the month. So just set it aside first, let it pay by itself, and I'll show you later. Next slide, please. What I mean by this, I stay in a condominium at Bukit Gombak. It's called Guilin View. Every quarter, it is about 270 to about 300 every quarter. So this first box here, 672 and 159, that's the maintenance and the sinking, which comes up to about 850. That's for 3 months. So they'll charge you every 3 months, not every month. Every 3 months they'll send this bill to you. And prior to this, I was receiving every 3 months. Wow, I have to fork out 800. Wow, I have to fork out 800. So what I did was I actually now prepay. Next. That's coming out from my account every month. 350, 350, 350, 350. So what happens is, even before they ask me, I pay first. Because every month I get salary, I pay. I get salary, I pay. I pay. I get salary. So this is the latest bill that came to me, and look at the total amount due at the bottom there. 0. Because why? Because every month I have to actually use my money to salary to pay it first. Because when the bill comes, I tell you, you'll be looking around, like I used to look around last time. Wow, where to find? That 350, that the 3 months that you ought to have used to pay, you have used it already for some other reason because you thought you had money. Yeah, but you don't have. And it's the same for those of you who drive. You know, the worst period for a driver is when? Road tax renewal, insurance renewal. Sakit. Yeah, it comes like 1,000, and then you're like, where do I get the money from? Same thing. You can do this for the car. Prepay, put into a different account first. When the thing comes, then you have money, okay, to pay off. Okay, so things like that are very important. Next one. Pay more your needs. Understandably, some things that we have in our lives is a need. We need to take a loan to buy a house because we don't have money to pay cash. We need to take a loan to sometimes pay for our studies because we don't have that 10, 20,000 to pay for our studies, whatever the case is. Okay? When you have a fixed installment to pay, do not just pay the installment amount that they tell you. If they say, okay, with this 30-year loan, with this 10-year loan, you're supposed to pay 500 a month. Don't. Pay 600. Pay more. You know, pay 10, 20, 30% more. So 500, if you add an additional 100, it's a 20% increase, so you pay 20% more. Why? It helps to bring it down so much faster. It helps. You're using your money also to bring down your debt. If not that, I tell you that $100 don't go away, man. You'll probably be in, used for some other reasons and so on and so forth. Okay, so discipline yourself. Second one is when you have loans which are not end dated, i.e. credit card debt. Credit card debt that has no end date. Credit card debt just rolls over and rolls over. So when you have a situation like that, and they will normally say pay the minimum 3%, don't pay 3%, pay more than that. Okay? Or even pay a fixed amount. 3%, and this example here, 3% of a $10,000 debt is $300. Okay? If you just pay 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, the amount that you pay will actually decrease from 300 to 297 to 296. Why? Because the principal amount also decreased. But look at the blue line. By the time it's month 36, your debt will still be 3660. However, if you were smart enough to keep it at 300, not a percentage, but at 300, 300, 300, 300, the debt goes to 0 in month 36. Because there are certain months, 3% is only $200, but you're still paying 300. In certain months, the debt is only 195, but you're paying 300. So it goes down much faster. Don't be influenced by the bank. Don't worry, not just pay minimum. In the statement that pay minimum can already. No. Pay more than that. Okay. And next slide. Lastly, pay cash your wants. You talk about your needs just now, your wants. Your wants are typically smaller stuff. I nak ni lah, I nak tu lah, and stuff like that. Okay. And most of the time, the problem is we pay our wants with credit, with debt. No. Use cash to pay your wants. Okay. Don't use credit cards because credit cards, they lure you to get used to debt, which is I don't think is a good thing. Okay. Pay by cash. Save up. I have friends who they want to go on holiday. They save before they go on holiday. Go Korea, they save up. Go Umrah, they save up. They do this, they save up and stuff. It's not as easy as let me use my credit line. Pay for that line. Guna credit card, swipe dulu. Tak apalah, balik, bayar. No. So you need to move away from that. The cost of instant gratification is very expensive. If I were to ask you today, think of something that you want. Not big lah, small things. Okay. Think of an item. If I were to say, you could buy this item, today for 80% more, or you could buy this item in 6 months' time for the price it is. Do you get me? You want today, can, but you pay 80% more. If not, You wait 6 months' time, you get it at the original price. What would you say? Wait or take or buy? Wait or buy? Wait. Naturally, we will say wait. Okay? But when it comes to things like this, let's assume this is a computer that you want. The ad comes out in the paper, 1099. Next, please. 1099. If you pay cash, 1099. In the small little below there, it says next. 4-year installments. You want can. All you have to do is $10.33 per week, $4 and 4 weeks, and 48 months. It's 1983. So if you take a 4-year installment on this, you are paying 1983 instead of 1099. Next, please, which is an 80% more increase than the original price. Because go back, whenever you see this kind of advertisement, what you do is take out your calculator, compare the installment total price with that of the original price. It will always be 20% more based on the years of installment. That means if the installment is 4 years, it's 4 times 20, 80% more. If the years of installment is 7 years, it's 7 times 20, 140% more. It's a fixed formula, that's what they do. Okay, so basically, what you should be doing is, next, if you save $200 a month, which is not a lot of money, you could save it if you make a bit of effort. After 6 months, you just get it at the cash price. Okay? So don't be real. We are living in a world today which I feel makes that something of a normality. It shouldn't be the case, especially for Muslims like us, where our religion says, don't go in debt, only out of necessity. If it's not necessity, don't. So we have to make the effort to actually move away from this. Okay. So again, I think I'm done. Next. Also remember, yeah. Okay. So remember, the 3 hacks is when you get married, or if you're married and you haven't done it, please set what we call the model so that you don't fight very often. Next. Be in control. The most important principle, always have that balance at the end of the month so that you actually are in control and you're not in desperation, finding money and so on and so forth. And thirdly, prepay, pay more, and pay cash. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sani. We would now like to invite Ustaz Kamal Mokhtar, member of Sharia Committee at Malayan Banking Berhad, judge at Sharia Appeal Court, and to give his speech. Ustaz Kamal, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan 'abduhu wa rasuluh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As you can feel, I'm quite nervous, mashallah. I feel more nervous speaking to young people than old people. Okay, speaking with my own generation is quite easier, I think. So, inshallah, I'll try to share whatever I have here. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can discuss. Okay, and I don't claim to be an expert in marriage. I have a lot of argument with my wife, and also it's work in progress. Okay, but I've experienced about 25 years of marriage. Okay, we have gone ups and downs. We lived about 4 years separate from anybody, just my wife and myself, for 4 years overseas. It's a very challenging time. It's a very sweet memory. Okay, and also experience as an appeal judge. Okay, so I've seen many cases. Okay, I've seen many cases. Some of the cases, divorce cases, which there are marriages that last as short as 3 months. Okay, after 3 months they get divorced. Okay, so there are cases where they get divorced after 30 years. Okay, after the children are all adults, then they decided to get a divorce because it's just basically tahan lah, basically tahan, okay, with one another, between husband and wife, until the children grows up and then they separate. Okay, it's a very sad case. Okay, so what I'm trying to share today is the principles of wealthy marriage. This is what I see. Wealthy is a very rich marriage, a very enriching, very happy marriage, whereby both parties they feel satisfied with the marriage. Okay, so there are certain things, and I will be talking a bit more on financial matters. Okay, financial terms, because I think probably you can understand better when I talk with these terms. So firstly, what is wealth? And we know wealth, definition of wealth, an abundance of valuable possession or money. Okay, so we talk about possession. What I understand as possession is risk. Okay, risk is not only physical possession. Risk is actually you have a pious wife, a pious husband. Okay, you have good children. Okay, you have health. Okay, you have good relationship with your parents. You have good relationship with your brothers and sisters. Okay, these are intangible items. Okay, and these are the things that make marriage very wealthy, because for us we tend to look at physical items. Okay, we see a person having big houses, we think they are happy. We think that if the wife carry a Prada bag, they think that the marriage is healthy. Okay, when they have big cars, they think, but possibly they are not the happiest people in the world. Okay, physically they have all the physical possession, but you can see that sometimes people are just on the physical side is happy, but internally they are suffering. Okay, and people with wealth, I'm not saying all, but sometimes because of the effort that they have spent in acquiring the wealth, they don't have much time together. Okay, they travel a lot. Okay, so we have to manage ourselves. We have to manage ourselves. How much are we willing to give away? Because sometimes, because in the pursuit of wealth in Singapore, husband and wife decided to work. Okay, and we spend a lot of time separate from each other. Okay, so then they realize that the relationship is damaged. Okay, so they have to discuss and come back. You have to evaluate. You have to evaluate once in a while and to decide whether the wife will have to stop, or even today, even the husband have to stop. Okay, we have cases of house husband. Okay, house husband. Then we have new cases coming in, because the expectation of the house husband and the wife working, that will be different, because everybody have their own egos to play around in the family. Okay, so when abundance of wealth, abundance of valuable possessions, so and also have the potential of growth, and its capital should be protected, and that's basically wealth. We want our capital to be protected, the marriage to be protected, and how do we increase the romance, we increase the love, we increase the affection between husband and wife. Okay, and sometimes we tend to show by giving gifts. I think giving gifts is not necessarily the main thing. Okay, and sometimes we see old couples. You know, my wife sometimes is seeing old couples walking on the beach, holding hands, kissing one another and sitting by the bench. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. It didn't happen accidentally. Okay, it took years of sacrifice, years of affection. You can see that kind of people. Okay, so you appreciate the commitment. Okay, the effort that they have gone through in building that marriage. Okay, it's a very simple picture, but it has a deep meaning. Okay, it's just like we see a huge tree, fruiting tree. Okay, it doesn't come by accident. You have to put a lot of effort, fertilizer to grow that tree, to protect it before you can see a tree giving you a lot of results. Okay, and also should prevent from any form of deterioration. And I will talk about this, the risks that you have to manage in marriage, because there are certain things that will happen. Okay, and basically just some figures that I want to give, because in 2016, okay, amongst the marriages in Malays, there were about amongst Muslim in 2016 there were about 5,954 marriages. Okay, 5,954 marriages according to the Singapore statistics, and there were about 3,408 marriages amongst Malays alone. Okay, amongst the Muslims. But the divorce rate, the divorce in 2016, the total was 1,702 amongst the Muslims, and amongst the Malays alone is 1,181 divorces. Okay, so from 3,408 marriages amongst the Malays, 1,181 fails. So you can imagine it's about 1/3. 1 out of 3 marriages will fail. Okay, it's a huge number. It's a high statistics. Okay, so we do not know. Okay, I hope I'm not one of those cases. Okay, it could be because hurricane can come into the family. Okay, calamities can come into the family. So we do not know. And today you think that your marriage can be happy, but FB comes along. FB comes along, you get connected with your old friends, mashallah. You have not met somebody you have known since secondary days, suddenly you get connected again. And things comes in. Okay, especially when you are angry with your wife, you're frustrated, and you just decided to connect with this person. And a lot of things happen. Okay, a lot of things happen. So and the next one, do I press myself or? Oh, it's already there. Oh, okay. Do I control it? Oh, okay. Alright, so selecting good assets because you want to invest. Basically marriage is the biggest investment of your life. And you should pay a lot of attention. Because sometimes we pay a lot of attention in buying houses, buying cars. Marriage is your biggest investment. Okay? Because it will determine the rest of your life. A car you can change. House you can rebuy and sell and rebuy. But you cannot change your wife. Or you cannot change your husband. Once you stick with your decision, you have to bear for the rest of your life. Or you separate. And if you separate, when it happens between just husband and wife, it's quite simple. But when it comes into children, okay, the biggest losers will be the children. They will be affected for the rest of their life. Okay, so we have to consider deeply in terms of, and if the person that you want to marry is not the right person, break it off. There's nothing wrong with break it off. Okay, find a better partner. Alright, and sometimes people think that marriage is like takdir. I don't believe marriage is takdir. Allah SWT has determined our risk, but it depends on you whether you want to determine how much you want from that takdir. Allah did not reveal it to you. Okay, Allah did not reveal to you what work you're going to get, but you have to put effort in looking for your work. The same thing with your marriage. Okay, you have to put effort in your marriage, looking for the right person. And I believe the first thing that is extremely important is attraction. Attraction between the man and woman. Okay, that's why Islam allows you to have proposal, tunang, and you're supposed to look at it's a very simple method. And basically, for me, when my experience when I get married, I didn't know my wife. Okay, I'm an extremely shy person. Extremely shy person. Okay, I can't talk to women. I can't talk. Okay, so and worst thing is that I was studying overseas. I don't get into contact, and worse is Medina. So I don't talk to people, and my parents were very shy. I'm a very shy person, and it takes a lot of effort for me to speak in public. This is a huge effort upon me. Okay, it's eating me up. Okay, I don't feel comfortable talking to people, but I have to. Every day I have to talk to people. You know, it's just an occupational hazard. I'm forced to speak. I prefer to be in my own space. My children always say, Abah ni kalau if a lot of people, I'll walk behind quietly, minding my own business, and then my children will walk in front and say, Abah, what you say? That's my nature. Okay, so when I want to get married, I didn't know my wife, And this could be one of the ways, and it's not based on takdir. Takdir means you just wait and you do effort. You must put an effort. Just like you're looking for work. You apply and you go for interviews, and then you make your own selection. Okay? So if let's say the thing is that there's a middle person for me. Okay, I met a friend and said, I want to get married. I'm ready to get married. Suggest for me one partner. So they came, show me a photo, and I said, okay lah, so not bad. Okay, so, and then I went to meet them, and after that, there's no connection. So, sometimes the father came, okay, because it's in Medina, so they came for Umrah, and sometimes they meet me and say, Ustaz, if you want now, I shake your hand. Please. No, there's no connection, there's no attraction. So let me give 3 days. Let me pray istikhara. Of course, I know the result. So after 3 days, I say sorry. It doesn't happen. Okay. So after a while, it was quite a challenging time. Took me about 1 year plus. Okay. In the end, I was like going to give up. Okay, so a friend said, okay, how about this? I said, okay lah, can lah, try lah. Anybody will do. So I took a photo, I said, okay. So came back to Singapore, went to meet her, talked to her, went in the family. Okay, in the house, met her, her family was around, spoke to her for about 1 hour. After that, I asked her, what do you think? So she said, okay. She said, okay. So I said, alright, Alhamdulillah. And said, let's get married in 2 weeks. But then she got family something. So I said, okay, 3 weeks, okay. 3 weeks is alright. So 3 weeks alright. That was my experience. And I think basically maybe you make a lot of dua and also effort. I think it helps. So now it's about 25 years of marriage. We have 5 children. Okay, 2 of my children was born in Medina, the rest 3 born in Singapore. So Alhamdulillah, things work out. The thing is that when you want to select, I think one of the most important things, I think, is dua. Dua helps a lot. Okay, and then you make effort. And if you have friends that can assist you in looking for partners, I think it will help a lot. Okay, through matchmaking. But if let's say you think that you know the person, okay, one of the things that you have to select, I think, is religion. Okay, religion is not just physical practice, because sometimes people look at the physical features. Janggut, that means good person. Seluar, pendek sikit, you think that is good person. Okay, it doesn't mean. Religion is how he practice and how he interacts with the parents. I believe it is how he interacts with the parents. If you observe the person, how he speaks to the mother, if she is very respectful to the mother, it is a very strong sign that she's a very nice person. Okay, because that's one powerful sign. Okay, and also the family itself. If let's say the family, they are good, surely the parents are good. So surely the most likely the children are also good. Okay, right. And also one of and Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, choose religion. But again, the first criteria was physical attraction. You need to be attracted to each other. Okay, you see in Saudi, some of them, they don't even meet their wife. The potential wife is I think it's extremely wrong. Islam encourages you to at least meet one another, speak to one another. Alright? And the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Tunkahul mar'atu li'arba. Okay, a woman is married because of these 4 features. Okay? Because of her money, because of her wealth, because of her beauty, okay, and because of her status, and also because of her religion. Okay, and the Prophet says, you select religion and you will not worry. You will be happy. Okay, because a woman with religion, she understands her responsibility. Okay, and if you have religion, you perform your responsibility and everything will go well. Okay, and then you have nice children and you enjoy life. Okay, that's very simple. Actually, it's very simple. Okay, and compatible in status. What I meant is compatible meaning your educational level cannot be too far, but I'm sure you're quite close.
and also age distance. Some people think that the Prophet is 25, Khadijah is 40. It's wrong. Historical fact, it is wrong. The Prophet ﷺ married Khadijah when she was 28. It's not 40. Okay, and you look, it's impossible for a woman at the age of 40 to have 6 children. They have 4 daughters and 2 sons. Medically impossible. And also from historical point of view, it's proven that Khadijah was at the age of 28. That's why when Khadijah proposed to the Prophet ﷺ, nobody brings up an issue of age. Imagine if a person at the age of 40 comes and try to propose to the Prophet, the family would have a second thought, because age of 40 will trigger something. Okay, so, and there are cases, I've seen cases whereby person, youth at the age of 21 marrying a 40-year woman. Okay, and in my heart it cannot work, and it did not work. After a few years they separated. It's just too far apart. Okay, in terms of maturity, in terms of thinking, in terms of age. Okay, and women at the age of 40, they will age very fast. These are the issues that you have to consider. Okay, and also I have about 5 more minutes, very short time. Okay, the next thing is that I will talk about certain characters that need to be every couple needs to have. Okay, do I have it? Oh, okay. I can see it. I only have 5 more minutes. Okay, first thing is trust. Because marriage, I think this is the basic foundation of marriage is trust. Some people say, oh, Ustaz, when my wife wants to leave, you have to ask permission from me. My wife never asks permission from me. Okay? When she wants to go out, she tells me. She says, Abba, I'm leaving. I'm going out. See, she don't ask permission because it's based on trust. I know where she's going. She's going to work, and she's a real estate agent, so she has to make clients. I trust her wherever she goes. Okay? But once you break the trust, there's a point where the marriage is going to break. Okay? So you have to build your trust. Alright? And secondly is loyalty. Loyalty between our spouses. There will be issues because sometimes the wife needs to know that the husband is loyal towards her. And if you stay with family members, it will be even worse. Okay, because when you start your marriage, you share houses. You share house with your in-laws. Which in-law should you go? I think the husband should stay in your in-laws' house. I think that's the best. Because the wife feels comfortable in her own house. So the mother is looking after her. Alright? So you on top of it, you as the husband, you are the guest of the house. Okay? But if you live in your house and your wife lives in her in-laws, then your mother have a very high expectation of your wife. She will always look out and inspect her in the morning, what time she wakes up, does she cook and does she sleep, because you are the son and she wants to protect you. It's a very pressurizing life for the wife. If you get married, try to live with your in-laws. That's what I felt. Okay, and when I live with my in-laws, I feel very comfortable. Okay, but if she lives with my mother, I know my mother will give her a lot of hell. Okay, so that's one thing. And also, parents might question you and might criticize your wife. This is the time that you show your loyalty. And this is, you have to protect her. That's why Allah SWT said, Rijalu qawwamuna 'ala nisa. Qawwamuna 'ala nisa is not only to provide for her. Qawwamun means you provide security for her, you provide safety for her. Okay, so you must show that you are protecting your wife, and then your wife can believe in you. Okay, and sometimes the brothers and sisters, okay, your brothers and sisters might criticize your wife. That's why you put your feet down and this is my wife. Okay, so loyalty is very important. And commitment meaning once you get married, you're committed to the marriage. Whatever happens, you must make the marriage works. Okay, so if there's issue between you, you solve it out, you discuss it. Okay, and you don't assume. Sometimes because of your assumption, a lot of things goes wrong. Okay, if you have issues, okay, because sometimes we have to go for a date.
and me and my wife goes a lot of dates. Okay, because before marriage, you know, we never meet before marriage, right? I told you. Okay, it's just within 2 weeks we got married. So I called her a bit before marriage talk. Who are you? Who are you? Okay, so I need to know her at least. Okay, so after marriage, because once the first few years of marriage is normally honeymoon. You are lovey-dovey, mashallah. So happy. Your Facebook, everybody knows what you're lovey-dovey. But once you get your first child, that's when you feel the pressure. Okay, you're busy, you're tired. Once you have your second child, worse. You have your third child, worse. Okay, fourth child, lagi. But once you have fifth child, alhamdulillah. Because the first one goes up, so they can look after, help you. But the thing is that you are preoccupied with your children, preoccupied with your wife, preoccupied with your financial matters. You do not have time for each other. And this is a time where you have to give time for between yourself. Okay? So this is a thing that I learned from Oprah Winfrey. Okay, she says you need to go for dates. Okay, I go for movies. If you see sitting beside me, hey Ustaz, you watch movies also. I do. If you go to Aeon, you know, I normally go to Johor. That's my favorite place. Okay, tempat lepak. That's my lepak place with my wife. So we go in the morning and then we go shopping, we buy, and after that we eat, and then after that we see movies. But I always remind her, 3 things never discuss. Never bring up 3 issues. And this is what Oprah brought out, and I think this is a very good point that you have to learn. First, you don't ever talk about your finance. Don't ever bring up about finance. Okay? Because suddenly, like just now, Sani just now speak. Okay? Suddenly wife said, Abang, HDB belum bayar. You will go back. Immediately you turn around. Forget it, I'm not going to here. Go back. You spoil my mood. Okay, I just wanted to have a peaceful time. You brought up about HGB. And then after that, you don't speak about your children. You would also break your mood. Okay? Just now. Okay. Just now, Madrasah talk about this, talk about that. And also, you don't talk about your finance. You talk about, and you don't talk about your work. These 3 things. Never talk about your finance, never talk about your children, and never talk about your work. Other topics is free. Previously, you can see this. Many couples before marriage, they talk about everything under the sun. They talk about pimples. You see, mashallah, you see some couples who check pimples. I say, mashallah, so loving couple. Okay, you talk about the sun, you talk about the stars, you talk about the birds, you talk everything you can talk, but never touch these 2 things, and you will be okay. You will be okay. As long as you come together, the more time you be together, you're okay. Alright? And the last card. Okay, remove the last slide because my time is over. Risk management. When you talk about wealth, you talk about marriage, there will be a lot of risk. Okay, dangers. How you manage the risk. Especially family risk. One case that I remember, the 3 months divorce. Okay, they brought into appeal. So we studied the case. The husband is too attached to the family. So the wife gets like suffocated. Get extremely suffocated. Anything that she wants to do, the husband has to ask permission from the mother. Okay? Your husband and wife. You don't have to ask permission anymore. You are the man of the family. Okay? So you want to ask advice from your parents, cannot. Okay? Remember that you are a family unit. Okay? You don't have to ask permission from your father. If your father says something to you, you say, I'm a man. This is my family. Okay? So, and you protect your wife. If anybody scolds your wife, you defend her. Okay? That's basically the responsibility of the husband, so that she can trust you. Okay? So, family, very important. And secondly is
expectation. Because sometimes you think that, oh, mashallah, before marriage, the husband is nice, wife is nice, Malaysia, hijab semua tak mati. And then once you get married, mashallah, the husband farts here, farts there. Mashallah. That's the men do that. I do not know why. Okay? And men have a lot of crazy habits. Lots of crazy habits. I do not know. Some people dip their toes, whatever. So you might have a different expectation before marriage. Once you get married, you have to accept. And they say, terima seadanya. Terima seadanya. You have married me, take me as I am. Okay? Alright? Don't try to change. And sometimes the wife thinks they need to change the husband. That's where trouble comes in. Okay? Some have small habits you can change. But sometimes it's inbuilt. Okay, my wife have to take me as I am now. Okay? So sometimes even for small matters, divorce might come just by a small habit whereby the husband press the toothpaste from the top. The wife press the toothpaste from the bottom. And every day it comes in and it builds up. It builds up. Okay? Every morning the wife sees, alamak. And then tomorrow she says, alamak. Tomorrow, alamak. And then suddenly she just blow. Just because of toothpaste. MashaAllah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, it's just an example, but there might be other examples. Okay? So sometimes husband you have to learn also certain habits that you have to change. Okay? Alright. And also opposite sex risk. Okay, you have to manage, especially when you have mates. Okay, mates can be a fitna. I had maid for about 16 years of my life with my children. Alright, so in the beginning I had a rule. I set a rule. Every time if in the home, if there's no male person in the home, I can never stay in the house, even when I'm tired. That is the rule that I place on myself. Okay, so if I entered, nobody, because my children go to school, my wife went for an appointment, there's the maid. The worst thing that I can say is, cuci kereta. Take as long as you want. So she'll wash my car, and then she'll take about half an hour, she come back. Tuan sudah cuci, alamak cepat. So I said, okay, sudah, saya mau keluar. So relationship is important because it's also trust. And also if you think you want to WhatsApp some friends, lady friends, you want to message, you cannot escape it. Men never do that. Your wife will find out. Your wife will find out. Okay? And she can find out very easily. Okay? I don't know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did that. But somehow my wife always say it's a woman's intuition. I don't know. Because somehow Allah gives them the feeling that something is wrong. But probably because she can catch you. Because when you move on and suddenly you are so happy there's something wrong. How come my husband come back very happy? Okay? Or there'll be ways. And psychologically, you can never lie to your wife. You can never lie. Your wife can pick up very easily. And they say if you really want to lie to the phone. Maybe you have a higher chance of lying. Because when you speak face to face, eye to eye, she knows that you are lying. That's it. Okay? And also, last thing is that financial risk, I think Brother Sani has talked a lot and I appreciate. I'm learning from Brother Sani just now, the few slides. MashaAllah, very, very good point in terms of managing your finance. Okay, but I think the best thing is to live a minimal life. Minimalist, and I think it's good. No point, you have a lot of things. MashaAllah, sometimes our clothes, our bags. But this habit is a very bad habit that we have developed. Alright? So I think that's basically what I want to say. I hope there's some lessons that you can take from what I presented. And inshallah, if you have any question, inshallah, we can have a discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ustaz Kamal. Now I would like to invite all the three speakers Ustaz Kamal, Mrs. Sani and Ustaz Zahid are on stage, and Diana, our moderator for the Q&A session. Speakers and Diana, please.
Just, okay. Thank you, speakers, for the wonderful speaker in speech. sorry. Little bit nervous. Okay. Okay, so right on to the questions because we are short of time. We only cut it to 3 questions. And Ustaz Zahid, we are from NYP.
I corrected it. Korang follow aku juga.
Dah follow. Okay. Then, okay.
Sorry, minta maaf.
No problem.
Dekat-dekat je kan. Tak si correct my IG. Suka follow orang kat IG. Corrected it, alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask this question and it's up to you guys on who would like to answer the question. So the one with 8 likes is, what if I found someone who I thought is my jodoh, but I'm being stopped by parents to get married? I'm ready financially and I have a stable job, but what should I do?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I think if let's say you are ready to get married and you like the person and the person likes you, tawakal lah. Tawakal is the best way. Because the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ya ma'syar syabab, man istata'a minkum al-ba'a falyatazawwaj. Okay. O youth, basically, it says if you are able to get married, you think you are ready, you are able to afford yourself, go get married. Okay, Allah SWT make it easy. For me, when I get married, I'm not working because I'm studying. Okay, I studied in Medina. I was in my first year of university. I have no income, but the university gives me a allowance of about 500 riyals per month, which is about close to about $250. What is $250? Okay, not even paying for Cik Sani punya maintenance for 3 months. Okay, so $250. So, and my wife, she agreed, and I said, okay, alhamdulillah, come back, but things happen. Okay, people help, but alhamdulillah. Okay, so the thing is that if you are financially ready, the thing is that try to convince. I think the agreement of parents, the redha of parents is extremely important, very important. And also, if let's say if the parents are happy, you want to get married, and they make prayers for you, everything will be happy. Especially the du'as of their mother. If let's say your mother is not happy and they say please don't, I think you cool off. Okay, try to convince her. Okay, because if a marriage is not accepted by the mother, I think it's just a point of breakage. It's just waiting for a point of breakage. Okay, so yeah, I think so. Wallahu a'lam.
Can I just say as a moderator? No. I just want to ask a question. Because the issue here is that financially stable and have a job. Do you think that marriage just need a financially stable? Is this just enough for us to be financially stable, or you think there's something else? Yeah, macam moderator pula saya.
I think being financially stable is a prerequisite, but not the only criteria. Of course, like Ustaz Kamal said, physical attraction or chemistry has to be there. Because I think as the data has shown, you can be madly in love with one another, but if finance becomes an issue over and over, it leads to many other strains, especially after the so-called honeymoon period is over. Then reality sets in. So I think, and you brought a very good idiom or whatever you said, that you don't have to be really financially up there, but as long as it's stable, the girl expectation is there, knows that you can bring the bread home or the dinner home and stuff. I think that's fine. I think everybody has to compromise a bit. Okay, so here stable means stable, you're struggling and stuff like that. Because really, it's a reality. Love isn't. Love can be. Love can overcome a lot of things, but it really can be challenged by finances, from what I can see from a lot of the individuals that we deal with.
Next one is for Ustaz Kamal. You mentioned to not talk about your finance, work or kids with your spouse when on a date. Then how do you resolve them as issues?
When I mention it's not to speak to your spouse, it's when you're on a date, but at home you speak about it. Because at home you're not on a date. Okay? And if you need to fight, you need to argue, it's okay. My favorite place to argue is in the car. Where you can shout as much as you want. Nobody cares. But in the house, and if you are, that's the thing, if let's say you are living in another person's house, your privacy is really affected. You can't express yourself. It's a frustration. Best when you are able to be as independent as possible, have a house, move as fast as possible, be as independent as possible. But again, at home you speak about finances, you have to discuss, definitely. Okay? About children, you have to discuss. These are your bread and butter. About your work, and you come back and you have to express your kerja tadi teruk je lah. Then she comfort you, you discuss. You get a feeling of relief. You get relief. Okay? And sometimes on the point of the husband, when the wife talks about her problem, now the husband is a challenge for the husband. Why they just want to just relieve it to yourself, not to solve problem. But men, on the other hand, we want to solve. Okay? So when you hear issues, problem, and I'll give a solution, I'm not looking for a solution. She just want to relieve. Okay? So yeah, you speak. But when you are on a date, you don't talk about this thing because it will break your mood. Okay? So that's what I meant. And argument is common. Don't think that Ustaz, Masya Allah, malaikat kat rumah kat you know, my wife don't look at me as an Ustaz. My wife look at me as a husband. When she speak, she don't say Ustaz Kamal. No. So she calls my name and she can say whatever she likes. Your husband and wife. Even I believe Madam Halimah at home also same problem. I can imagine whether she's a president or whoever, you will talk to the same thing. This is human issues. Okay, human issue. So trash it out. Alright? So if let's say if financially you think you need expert, go for expert. Okay, but at the end of the day, try to resolve it between yourself. Wallah a'lam.
Dia nak tanya lagi soalan. But I always like to ask question rather than answer.
Ustaz, then I'll let you have the final question.
I have a question. What do you think that is a basic dispute or financial dispute that because I have so many financial issues to settle, that's why. Okay, it's like this. We as young couples, right? We have our own, not all of us sit and then discuss about financial and also economic issues. I have friends who say that, macam mana saya nak berbual, because these are very, very sensitive. You see, me as an Ustaz, my wife as a civil servant. So the issue dia lain lah. You know how our money and how hers and everything. What do you think that the basic financial disputes that younger or early couples have actually? Is it because of their savings, or is it because of the investments, or is it because of how they spend? What do you think are the most common disputes that younger couples have?
I think it all comes to, when it comes to finance, it's just the inability to balance the accounts at the end of the month. Meaning to say that, first of all, you need to set whose responsibility is for what. Paying the bills. Me and my wife, what we do is, I have a set of responsibilities. and she has a set. She pays for the kids' tuition fees, for example. I make sure that all the utilities, everything is settled, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So and the general rule is I do my stuff. I buy things that I like, and she buys things that she likes. Both of us are compatible in the sense that we're quite thrifty. We don't go for flashy stuffs and things like that. So that part, even if she does, again, like I said, it's her own money. She works, she earns herself, and because of that, we have this common understanding. So in terms of finances, there's not much dispute because we've adopted that you, me, but certain things we pay together. Yeah, so really, like I say, it really depends on the character of the person you're marrying. Once you understand that person, then it's good. Yeah. I'm not an easy person to get along with. I'm quite the game. You know, I do my stuff. She's come to appreciate that or understand that. You know, in a sense. Let's say if, like for example, I'll give you an example. Ustaz you're on my Facebook, right? Yes. So I went to Bangladesh for the Rohingya camp twice. Once in September, my wife said no, don't go. She was afraid. I know she loves me, that's why she's afraid and stuff. But the gila, I nak buat. I went. So she appreciates it. She tells my relative what I've done and stuff. I know deep down inside, I kind of went against her. I think she kind of knows that this is him. I'm not going to try to change him. If I stop him, he's going to be unhappy. I'll let him do whatever he do, but I'll doakan and make me promise to eat your vitamins every day and stuff like that. And she does really. She prepares like those boxes with macam orang tua lah mandi Tuesday stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say, there will be a lot of times you don't see eye to eye in terms of finance or other stuff. There has to be this level of acceptance. You accept and you just accept the person. So just want to touch one thing. I was talking. Ustaz mentioned about happiness. I don't know. I thought when you mentioned it, something came to mind. I thought maybe I want to share. There is a study, and this is a scientific study, who show that human beings, everybody has this kind of level of happiness. Okay, this happiness, basically, it's quite stagnant. It's a certain level. If you pass an exam, then it goes up, but it comes back down to that equilibrium. If you fail an exam, it comes down, but typically you get over it and it comes back to that equilibrium. And they found out there are two things actually which brings this level of happiness permanently to a new level. Only two things, and based on the study. One is gratitude, the other is giving. Okay, which is very Islamic. If gratitude, alhamdulillah, I have gratitude towards what I have. I don't complain with the amount of food I have on my table. I don't look over to the neighbor and see his car and become envious. I'm glad. Once you show that gratitude, you find that you're a much happier person because you don't envy and so on and so forth. And the second thing is giving. The more you give, you find that you actually a much more happier person. You're not self-centered. You tend to make other people happy, and you feel this sense of belonging in this world. I've got a higher place, helping others and stuff like that. It's not just all about me and stuff. Yeah? So I think individually also, if that can be incorporated in families, gratitude and giving, I think that will help a lot.
Thank you, speakers. With that, we would like to conclude our question and answer session, and we will now like the speakers to go back to seats. Thank you. And passing it back there.
Now we would like to invite Wani, Vice President of MSN, and Ridwan, Treasurer of NYP MSN, out on stage to present a token of appreciation to the speakers. And let's invite Abang Zul out on stage on behalf of AMP to receive the token of appreciation.